Good afternoon. It is May 23rd, 2024, and today we had two legs down. We went beyond the two measured legs. Here's what it looks like on the daily chart. Let me remove the indicators. So, oh, okay. So we hit this measured move at the range. I didn't even see that. Trying to get this drawing off. So basically, we hit a measured move of this range. I'm not sure why I would have had this as the low of that range. I would probably put it like here, which would bring us to the low of this big bull bar right here. And I mean, it's very, this just looks like a buy climax. So the buyers are going to be exhausted. So we could bounce here. We could go a little further down to the EMA before we bounce. A lot could happen. Can't believe this sell-off was the beginning of April. Time is just flying. But let's take a look. There was a pretty instructive sell-off here that I'll talk about later. But let's see, there's got to be some trades in here. So we just had a big buy climax in the overnight after that craziness yesterday. Sorry, I'm all over the place. And then we had a little sell-off. There's probably two legs in there, and then we had another buy climax. This time it was a little flatter. And so 5 o'clock comes in right here, and you might buy a little bit just to establish a position. But with this strong leg back, it'd be reasonable to, just wait. And you can see we get this strong move from the open down. And I think you have to sell this. I think you have to sell. You have to get in on this somehow. And, you really could have gotten in on 54. Probably a 30-point move here. You can see we went sideways a little bit right here, and this is at the high over here from yesterday after the market closed. And then we sell off a little more. There's probably some type of channel right here. You can see that. I wouldn't really question you if you took this one right here. And maybe even this one. You might, this one's a little risky, or I mean, after the fact, you can see you almost got stopped out, but you wouldn't have even entered if you entered on a stop order. So, because it never got triggered, but it gets triggered below this. Boom. You can take your profits at the low of the channel. You can see a lot of people did that, but then it continued to sell off, and that's what happens in sell-offs. They slide faster than rallies, and it has something to do with the option firms, the options expirations dates and stuff like that. I don't really understand it, but that's why they sell off so fast and so strong. Here we bounce, and that's at yesterday's. It's a little further than yesterday's close, but we start ranging around there. I drew this like a channel, but you're probably better off playing it like a range. But you can see there is a level of resistance there. Did I have this drawn? No, I didn't have it drawn like that. So probably something like that. You can see it's expanding. So anyway, probably more like this. And so let me take a look at this. This one's a reasonable, after this strong sell-off, I wouldn't question anybody who wants to sell this. You can see 1 push up, 2 push up, 3 push up. And then you get the failure. I like that for sure. First entry failed, second entry long. Nice quick move. And this kind of looks like a failure, but at this point it looks like a range. So you can see that spike in channel down, but that's a failed break lower. I don't think you should buy yet. And this point, I'm like looking at the range, so you can see that people are probably confused in here. We don't hit the high, but you do get this spike in channel up, and I really liked going short at the top of the channel here. Could we have hit a bottom down here? Yeah, we could have. You can see it looks like we have 2 legs down, and that might be 2 legs within that first leg. If you let's say you draw it to like there, that looks like 2 legs within that first leg. So I mean, there's reasons to think that this rally is the start of a reversal, but I liked going short here at the top of that channel. But it's risky. You can see this level of resistance here. We sell off, and you can see a little spike in channel here. Two-legged pullback, sell off, like a hidden second entry short. And this is where we start making gaps. So it sells off heavily, and we form a gap right here. Comes up. This looks like a second entry short or two-legged pullback. Fails to close that gap. Maybe you go short there, but when you get this lower high, boom, go short there. That's a second entry short. Boom, creates this gap. You get like a two attempts to close it. They both fail. That's a second entry short. Two-legged pullback. Go short there. We get another gap. 2 attempts to close it. Boom, it fails. This gap closed to the tick. Still probably want to get short somewhere in here. And then, this is where it starts slowing down. You get a gap that closed to the tick. This one went 6 ticks above that gap before a new breakout. And this one went 17 ticks above that gap. But you do get a second entry short right here. I think you got to take that. And yeah, then we go 34 ticks. So it's slowing down. And we hit the measure move, the big measure move right here. So then you get this two-legged pullback. Maybe you go short right there. We're in this channel, so I don't think you want to go short down here, but I think it's a little too early. to buy, but clearly support down here. And we just go sideways until we get a break, and then to the end of the day, boom. So, I mean, maybe you scout longs here, but you got to be careful with that. So that's how I saw it. A lot of movement. Finally, like there's just hasn't been a lot of movement past couple of weeks, I feel like. But what did we get here? 95-point move. So anyway, hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.